Hey everybody, Kent Walski here, checking in with another one of our hashtag Star Trek Picard discussion videos. Today we're going to be going over two brand new set photo leaks that have popped up online that showcase quite a few things happening on set. We also going to go ahead and get our very first look of Isla Briones, or Isla Briones, I don't know how to say her name, the actress that was hired onto Picard. She's there sharing a scene with Patrick Stewart, so we got a shot of that as well. And at the end of this video, I'm going to share some of my thoughts regarding the title card that was released from CBS/Star Trek's Twitter account that has the Star Trek Picard logo on it. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Okay, so in this very first picture, we see Picard sitting there next to the actress Isla Briones. Now, it doesn't quite show what it is that they're doing. It looks like this is kind of in between takes here. It looks like there's somebody from the crew perhaps doing something with Patrick, and then, you know, Isa's sitting there listening to whatever it is they're saying. I'm not quite sure if that's maybe the director. It's unclear. Obviously, this is a bit of a blurry photo. But it is important to note that Patrick is wearing a different outfit from any of the other shots that we've seen leaked out up to this point. However, it does still look like they're still in the same relative vicinity, which is outside of this random building, which could potentially be Starfleet Academy. That's just kind of one of the many theories that are running around, that maybe Picard has taken up a position as a professor there, or maybe he's trying to visit somebody that is a professor there to help him figure something out. And it looks like he meets up with this character there, and they're having a conversation outside on this bench. We don't really know anything else beyond that, but I thought that was really quite interesting. The next photo that we're going to be looking at is packed full of quite a bit more information. Now, let's go ahead and break a few things down here. So we see Picard standing there with what appears to be his clothes or some kind of item on the floor, and he looks upset or a little bit confused as to what's going on. I'm curious if there's supposed to be a reverse shot discussion here. Maybe he's actually talking to somebody that's not on set at the time, or if the camera's just zooming in on Picard standing there, maybe upset about something. So it's quite interesting there. Then over here on the top right corner, we actually see what appears to be a helmet that somebody is wearing on top of a giant like leather jacket. Now, this kind of looks a little bit similar to the character that we saw in Star Trek Discovery Season 1, Jira Nawani, and I think she also made a few appearances here and there in Star Trek Discovery Season 2. It looks like they're wearing that tactical helmet that the character was wearing. Apparently that person is not actually an android. It's just something that they're wearing according to the novel. From what I understand, I haven't actually read the novel. But apparently this is like a tactical helmet that allows them to see 360 degrees views on the outside of the starship that they're serving on. So that helmet kind of looks a little bit like that. So there may be some connections there, but it could also be any other kind of friggin' helmet. Who knows? Or it could be some kind of robotic alien that we've never seen before that just happens to be in passing. The next thing we go ahead and see here is this top left corner. It looks like someone is wearing another black trench coat with something on their heads. Now, it's quite unclear as to what this is, but this person seems very familiar and very similar, I should say, not familiar, similar to the picture I talked about the other day in my other video for the leaked pictures. Somebody wearing this all black kind of outfit with something on the top of their heads. Now, it's curious to see what this really is. Is this a new alien species we haven't heard of? Is this maybe a Romulan that's, you know, a refugee after Romulus was destroyed and they're wearing a hood to protect themselves? Maybe they're embarrassed about being on Earth or near San Francisco or Starfleet Academy or wherever the hell they are. I don't quite know. Is it a Klingon that's wearing a hood over their heads? I'm not quite sure. But it is interesting to note that this character does have something on their heads and they're moving off in a different direction, and it looks similar to the one that we saw the other day. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And of course, we have the big reveal here, which is the full front of the new Star Trek uniform. Now, a lot of different theories going on here, but it looks like we've got the standard color on the top with the badge on the above the left breast pocket there, and then of course the all black kind of cut all the way down. Now, it is important to note that we're not quite sure what the connection is to the rest of Star Trek with these uniform styles, but it kind of connects to a few different things all at the same time. It kind of looks like the Countdown comic design, but not really 100% there. Kind of looks like the TNG cadet uniform. It kind of looks like a Voyager Deep Space Nine uniform, and it kind of looks like uniforms you can get from the Star Trek Online video game. I'm not quite sure. It could be that they put all of these different ideas together and came up with their own unique take on the entire uniform, and that's what they're rolling with. Who knows really at this point, but it is interesting and fun to speculate as to where they're getting their kind of inspiration from, and are those external inspirations going to be affecting what the story is. I'm very curious to see how that kind of plays out and maybe what this is trying to tell us. Okay, and the last thing I'm going to talk about is the Picard title card that was, sent out the other day once the leaks started popping up all online the other day for Star Trek Picard, which basically just says Star Trek Picard, which is saying to the audience that as of right now, the show is titled Star Trek Picard, which is great. I think that's a really great thing. I think it's a fine title. I don't think it needs to be anything fancy. I think it just gets the point across. Now, am I a little bummed that they didn't use some of the TNG font style in this? Yeah, a little bit, but not by like a crazy amount where I'm going to be super pissed. But it would have been fun to have a little bit of a throwback, but I also understand that they're trying to tell the audience, not only through the visuals of the uniforms that we're seeing leaked, but also through this font, that this is a newer show and things are going to look and feel a little bit different. So perhaps adding that font would have made people's expectations feel a little bit weird. So maybe they're trying to manage expectations in that fashion. I don't know, but it is what it is. So we do have the new font. I love the fact that they have the badge there inside of his name, Picard. I thought that was a nice touch, and it's also, it looks like possibly showing off what the new badge is going to look like, but it's not really sure. They could have just thrown that together, because you got to remember, like, even for Star Trek Discovery, when that initially was announced to when it actually aired, they went through several different iterations of what the logo looked like. It changed quite a bit. Throughout the different, iterations and what they finally settled on for the show. So it's possible that this will also get an update in the future, but, we'll see what happens, though. It is what it is. Anyways, guys and gals, that wraps up my news video for today. What do you think about these leaked photos? What do you think that robot person is? Who do you think that this person is in the black leather still? Is it a Romulan, you think? A Klingon? Someone brand new that we've never seen before? And what do you think about the uniforms? Do you think that they're directly connected to the Countdown comic, which potentially could be implying something to do with the license issue in the Kelvin universe? I don't know. But it could also just be related to Deep Space Nine spin, or a Voyager spin, or a Star Trek Online spin, or just a brand new idea that they thought was really cool because it included the colors that we're familiar with Picard and got away from the gray uniforms that we saw inside of Star Trek Nemesis. Anyways, guys and gals, I'm curious to hear what all of you think about it, so throw those comments down below and let's keep this discussion going. Live long and prosper, my Trekkies!